Buenos dias and welcome back to another video, my friends. I hope that you are safe and I hope that you are healthy. Today on the channel, I want to talk about the Canon RF 15-35 2.8 lens that I am shooting on here currently in video, but I went out and shot some landscape photography and I just wanted to share my experience with it. I just got off a few shots, but that is what this story is about. Now, this video almost didn't get made. I had scouted the area the day before. I had found it because I was looking actually at another area that I wanted to shoot that I previously had been to on a previous visit out to South Carolina. But on this visit, I found this area along the Catawba River here in South Carolina, and I just thought it would make a perfect image for sunrise. And so I figured out where the sun was going to rise and so on and so forth. So I came back the next day. I got up an hour early. Probably should have been there an hour early, but I got in an hour early, knew it was going to take about a half hour to get there. But things started to go downhill from there. Ran into a train, not physically ran into a train, but ran into a railroad crossing where a train just happened to be going by right at that moment, and it was one of those long cargo trains. And I waited and I waited and I waited some more. What felt like forever was really probably 5 to 10 minutes, but those were a valuable 5 to 10 minutes that I needed to get down to this river area, set up the video camera, and get to popping. You know what I'm saying? So I really needed to get there, and it just seemed like things were getting in my way. I was feeling a little frustrated. And these are the types of things that happen when you go out and shoot landscape photography, especially if you're trying to shoot a video on top of it. So if you put aside the video stuff, it's still super important to get out to an area and have time to set up and figure out what your shots are going to be, because I wanted to get some blue hour shots, but those were gone because I got there way too late and we were starting to get into sunrise or golden hour, and I just wanted to get the sun peeking over the top of the tree line and onto the river, so to speak. And I actually ended up getting that shot in what turned out to be a start of a vlog or a video. Here's this. Buenos dias and welcome back to another video, my friends. I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're staying safe. I am by the Catawba River in South Carolina. Came out to shoot some sunrise, but I don't know, a lot of things got in the way this morning. My fault completely. I wish I would have been here during blue hour. Sunrise is happening now, so it's about 6 a.m. and the sun's supposed to creep over this little hedge of brush over across the river. So we're gonna still attempt some shots here and have some fun with it. Let's go. And it really just turned out me just starting out the video and then essentially just turning off the camera because that wasn't gonna work out. I needed to focus on the photography, and that's what I did. But I still wanted to report back to you guys on using the 15-35. So ultimately, I ditched the idea of shooting a video on location and just focus on capturing some images with about a half hour of the good light that I wanted to shoot in, and whatever happened thereafter was fine, but I wanted to get a few images off on this 15-35 lens and share my experiences with you. So the first image that I'm sharing was actually something I caught on video when I started rolling film, and this was the location, and I just wanted to capture a nice reflection. So this image was shot at 1.6 seconds, f/20, 15 millimeters at ISO 100, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with this image. This image was somewhat of a throwaway image for me. I just wanted to get started and get shooting some images, and I'm kind of happy with this shot. Mostly all the images you're gonna see here today are gonna have a strong shadow theme to them, just because the sun, again, was still rising. It was just behind the tree line on this one, and you can start to get a sense a little bit on the left side of the image, in the middle of the image, where there is a little bit of golden area, and that's the sun starting to peek through a little bit of those trees. And that's really what I liked about this image. It just had that one focus location and then had a pretty decent sky behind it starting to light up, and just the water being able to smooth it out with a 2-second shutter speed. I kind of like this image. It wasn't the best image of the day, but I like it because it was my first image of the day and I was able to actually start getting rolling. And always shooting that first image, it's just like, get this one out of the way. I don't know how you guys feel about things, but I was able to get that one under my belt and I felt good and I felt in the pocket at that point to be able to find some new compositions. All right, my next image that I shot on the 15-35 was at 17 millimeters. So I went from a 15 millimeter shot and up to a 17 millimeter shot, and I really loved this image. I was able to frame it out between a couple trees and somewhat have a leading line with that log that was in the water that led out to the center of the image, which was just a little twig that was hanging out of the water that I'm assuming was connected to that fallen tree. But right there was also the star of the show, no pun intended, that sun star that was peeking over the tree line and just made the image for me. In this case, this image was shot at f/22 for 2 seconds, again at 17 millimeters, ISO 100, and I love everything about this image. There are pieces of it that I really love. I really love the tree in the foreground that's on the left side of the image that's just getting a little touch of that sun wrapping around the side of the image. I really didn't do too much to this image. I did have to bring down a little bit of the highlights, but outside of that, this image is just I love it. I posted it on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's Buenos Dias Imagery on Instagram as well. So follow me there. I posted that image and I'm just really happy with what this lens is able to do. Again, I'm pretty closed down at f/22, so obviously I had to fight for some light with having the shutter speed go for a long time. So I did want to boost the ISO, that was off the table. I generally don't shoot in the f/20s, but in this case, it worked for me. I feel like it did. I hope you enjoy the shot. I know I did. I really am liking this shot. And I've said that about 2 shots, but I'm showing you the ones that I really dug in. I didn't shoot too many. They're really in the order that I shot them in. So for this next image, I needed a little bit more length. So this is the 24-105 f4 lens, and I shot this one at f/22 at 1/5 of a second, 105 millimeters. I needed, again, some zoom because I wanted to focus in on that log, and early on there was a little bit of mist or fog on the surface of the water, and I wanted to soften that up and just focus on that log, and I think this 24-105 did a good job. So I wanted to sneak this one in. So hope you enjoy that image. Again, that was ISO 100. So then we were about to leave. The light had already lit up most of the area there. The sun had creeped over the tree line. But as we were walking back to get into the car, noticed that through the trees, you could see some nice shadowing, and I just love how this image right here, which I am calling my tree line image, it really spoke to me, and I wanted to just stop and shoot this image. I shot it at 1/4 of a second at f5.6. Again, I switched back to the 15-35 millimeter on this lens and shot it at 20 millimeters at ISO 100. And I was really focusing on the trio of trees to the left side, the much thicker trees that were getting some light there on their bark, and I feel like it's not the best shot in the world. However, I do love all the contrast in the image. There was a lot of nice golden colors and a lot of nice dark shadows where there need to be shadows, and you can kind of see that that is a reflection of what was happening with the sun coming up and sun powering through all of the trees and kind of just leaning the trees down with the shadows and looking at the straight upwardness, if you will, of the trees. I loved kind of that juxtaposition of both of those things, and that again spoke to me and really stopped me in my tracks to take this image. And that's pretty much gonna do it for this review. Nah, I shouldn't say it's not a review. My experience with the 15-35, I really want to take it out more and do some more. These are my first impressions, if you will, and it's definitely a lens that I love to get wide with. I want to shoot some stars with it. I think it's potentially the next lens that I want to purchase. If I didn't mention it earlier, this is a lens that we have at our work, and I was able to borrow it for a month or so and be able to shoot on a little bit. And this is the first time I've been able to actually take it out in the field and shoot some landscape photography with it, and I was really happy. I think with my 24-105 and this 15-35, I think that's a nice pairing, and to have both for video right here and also out in the field if I need some wider shots than 24 millimeters that it's on my 24-105. So that being said, that's gonna do it. I hope you enjoyed parts of this video. I hope you enjoyed all of the video. I really had fun shooting it. Like I said, it almost didn't happen, but we got it done, and I hope that that you're doing well. Again, like I said, I know there's a lot of things going on in the world, and I hope that you're standing on the right side of things, whatever that is for you, and that things are going well in your lives. If it's not, pick your head up. Things always get better. Know that not everybody's lives are perfect, and nor is mine. I am included in all that, and I have my down days, and I just hope that this video was able to pick you up a little bit. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like this video if you liked any part of it. Please comment down below. Let me know if you have the 15-35. What are some of your favorite shots? Share them with me on Instagram, and I'd be glad to go over there and take a look. And outside of that, please ring that bell to notify you of new videos when they are posted. That's gonna do it, everybody. Be good. Peace.